Morning all. All right, so starting off today with another career video, this time Evgeni Nabokov. I did double check. I did not find a video on the career of Evgeni Nabokov. A little surprised I hadn't, but he's in that one window where his career ends in 2015. The channel got started in 2016. And so a lot of the career videos, I'm either looking at guys who just retired now or guys who played back in the 80s, early 90s. So Nabokov slipped through the cracks until today. He's drafted 219th by the Sharks in 1994. Going to go ahead and say that's a bit of a steal in 1994 for the Sharks. And he doesn't make his debut with San Jose until 99-2000. San Jose has a really robust development system with goaltenders at this point. They have Kaprizov, they have Nabokov, they have Toskala. They have some good young goaltenders. And of course, they would move on from Toskala, from Kaprizov, and Nabokov ends up being the guy. There wasn't a lot of indication of that first year. He played 11 games, ended up with a 2-2-1 record, 910 save percentage, one appearance in the playoffs, did not allow a goal in that one appearance, did not get a decision either. So 2000-2001, still officially his rookie season because he only played 11 games the year before. In 66 games, which is 7th in the NHL that year, he has a record of 32-21-7, 915 save percentage, which is 10th. In the playoffs, he plays 4 games, a 1-3 record, 903 save percentage. He's in the All-Star game that year. He wins the Calder Trophy that year. He's on the All-Rookie team, and he's 4th in Vezina voting. So even though his save percentage is 10th, the voters really like his play. He ends up in Vezina. He never won a Vezina, but he did get close. So 2001-2002, plays 67 games, which was 8th overall in the NHL that year. 37 wins, which was 3rd overall in the NHL. To go with 24 regulation losses, 5 ties, overtime losses in there. 918 save percentage, which was 8th overall in the NHL in 12 playoff games. He finishes 7-5 with a 904 save percentage, and he's 4th in Vezina voting again. So even though his save percentage is lower than that, he's still getting the Vezina votes. Very good goaltender. Really, honestly, very good goaltender. 2002-2003. In 55 games, we see his record drop off. He ends up 19-28-8. The 28 regulation losses are 6th in the NHL that year. It's the only time he's top 10 in losses. And his overtime shootout, it was 03, we didn't have the shootout yet. So overtime losses and ties, he's 10th with the 8 there. 906 save percentage, no playoff games. 03-04, he knows how to bounce back. In 59 games, he has 31 wins, which is 8th overall, to go with a 19 loss and 8 ties or overtime loss record. The 921 save percentage he puts up is 7th overall, and it's close to what would be a career high for him. Really, really close. In 17 playoff games, a 10-7 record, 935 save percentage. Arguably his most impressive run in his career in the playoffs. He finished 6th in Vezina voting. So he's top 10 in Vezina 3 years out of 4. San Jose fans quite happy. The one thing with the Sharks is that outside of the 02-03 season, they're a contender. They just can't get over the hump. So 05-06, his record takes a nosedive. So do his stats in general. In 45 games, he has a record of 16-19-7. The 7 overtime and shootout losses, because we're into the shootout era. That's 8th in the NHL overall. 885 save percentage. So not a good save percentage. He only makes 1 appearance in the playoffs. No record and a 750 save percentage. So you're waiting for the bounce back. You get it. 06-07 plays 50 games. Record of 25-16-4, 914 save percentage. Huge bounce back year from him. In 11 playoff games, a 6-5 record, 920 save percentage. He was good in the playoffs. One thing that does get remembered, though, that San Jose did not get that Stanley Cup. So if they'd gotten a Stanley Cup with him in the net, who knows what kind of conversations we'd be having about Nabokov and potential for, maybe Hall of Fame, all that fun stuff. 07-08, they start really playing him. He plays 77 games, which leads the league that year. 46 wins, which leads the league as well. 21 losses and 8 overtime or shootout losses, which is 6th overall. 910 save percentage. In the playoffs, he goes 6-7 in 13 games with a 907 save percentage. This is arguably his closest to breaking through and winning not championship, but winning the trophy that goaltenders want. He's in the All-Star game. He's a first-team All-Star It is a rare event that you have a first-team All-Star that also does not win the Vezina in terms of goaltenders. He finished second in Vezina voting to Marty Brodeur. So he and Brodeur were very, very close in the Vezina vote that year. He also finished 7th in the Hart vote. So again, his save percentage not top 10, but everybody respected Nabokov and what he was able to do in San Jose. And he got consideration for the Vezina. Really, really close. That's as close as he would get. 08-09, he played 62 games. That was 8th overall, so lazy that year, right? Well, 62 games. 41 wins, which is 2nd overall to go with 12 regulation losses, 8 overtime or shootout losses, which is 6th overall, a .910 save percentage again. In 6 playoff games, he goes 2-4 with an .890 save percentage. He's 5th in Vezina voting. He will get Vezina votes every year in San Jose. 2009-2010 plays 71 games, which is 5th overall. 44 wins, which is 2nd overall. 16 regulation losses. 10 overtime or shootout losses, which is 3rd overall in the league. And then a .922 save percentage, which is 6th overall in the league. So a save percentage, that's the best one he ever had. That's the highest he ever was in the top 10, was 6th overall. In 15 playoff games, he goes 8-7, .907 save percentage. That run was ended by the Chicago Blackhawks, and people didn't understand at the time that was Nabokov's final game was against the Blackhawks in the conference final. So yeah, he finishes 4th in the Vezina, and then he ends up signing in the KHL. He signs a 4-year deal with, I believe, KSA in the KHL. So he spends that first year of a 4-year deal over there, and then he and the KHL team he was working for agree to part ways. That we're going to part ways. So on January 20th of 2011, so in the 2010-2011 season still, he is signed by the Detroit Red Wings to a 1-year contract. So he doesn't last very long in the KHL. He's coming back. Here he comes. The problem is you've got to put him on waivers because he played. He played pro hockey overseas that year. So he's let out of his contract with the KHL. He's signing with Detroit, a team that's contending for a Stanley Cup, right? And they envision themselves as maybe needing a goaltender, so why not bring Nabokov in? He's always top 10 in Vezina voting. Problem is you got to put him through waivers. And putting him through waivers means anybody can claim him. The New York Islanders claim him. They claim him and his 1-year contract with the Detroit Red Wings, which is a bargain contract. Nabokov, very, very unhappy with this turn of events. That on January 20th, he signs a contract with Detroit, and January 22nd, he finds out he's an Islander. The Islanders are nowhere near contention for a Stanley Cup. And so he refuses. He says, I'm not going to report. Now, one thing with this video is I've seen people saying, well, this player may not report to camp. This player may not report until he's traded. There's a danger of not reporting. So January 25th, he was suspended for failing to report to the New York Islanders. And then what the New York Islanders did was they said, look, we've got him under contract. He's not showing up. We would like to take this contract and slide it into next season. And the NHL said, okay. So they told the contract. He was under contract to the New York Islanders for the 2011-2012 season. So he does what essentially turns out to be the right thing. He reports to the New York Islanders. And he plays that season for them. Now, that first season with the Islanders in 42 games, he finishes 19-18-3, .914 save percentage. So after all of this, he does actually play for the New York Islanders. He doesn't bolt back to the KHL. 2012-2013 lockout shortened season. Here he plays 41 games, which is 7th. It's a 48-game season, so they played him a lot. He ends up with 23 wins, which is 4th overall in the NHL that year, to go with 11 regulation losses and 7 losses in overtime or shootouts, which is 2nd overall. His save percentage, .910. And in 6 playoff games, he goes 2-4 with an .842 save percentage. Rough save percentage in those playoffs. 2013-2014, in 40 games, he records a 15-14-8 record. The 8 overtime and shootout losses are 6th overall in the NHL. His save percentage drops to .905. So what ends up happening next? He ends up in Tampa Bay for the following season, 2014-2015, and it doesn't work. 11 games into his season, he has a 3-6-2 record, .882 save percentage, and so he retires from the NHL during that season on February 11th of 2015. So for Nabokov, long career, 697 games played, which is 31st all-time among NHL goaltenders. 353 wins, which is 23rd on the all-time list. 227 regulation losses, which is 52nd. And then the last column, which is your ties, overtime losses, shootout losses. 86 of those, which is 36th all time. 911 save percentage on average. During playoff games he appeared in, 86 games, a record of 42 and 42. 908 save percentage. He also recorded 59 shutouts, which is 20th on the all-time list. So long career, interesting career, and the whole Islanders thing was, I remember that mess. I remember Detroit signing him, and then he had to go through waivers and thinking they wouldn't. And then they did. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.